We are live. Hello, my
Yes,
friends, and welcome today to Miracle Makers with Michelle and Guillaume. It's good to see you, Michelle.
good to see you too, Guillaume. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, tell us where you're from in the comments, and now the screen. Okay, it's back on track. We have Sarah Khan from Halifax who's with us today. She's just about to get on stage, and it's so amazing. We met through LinkedIn last week, and we immediately connected. We had a lot of fun talking together. So we want to introduce you to her this week, Michelle, and guys watching, because she's an amazing person and she has such an amazing journey. Thought it would be a great idea to talk about it today and see what kind of miracle she's expecting in her life right now.
I'm looking forward to it. So let's bring Sarah on.
Sarah, welcome to the stage.
Hey, how are you? Hi, Michelle
Hi,
and Guillaume.
Sarah.
How are you?
Welcome. Good to
Thank
see you.
you. Yeah, you too. It's nice to meet you.
Likewise. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm coming to you from Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is on the east coast of Canada. I'm a healthy lifestyle designer and online business builder, but more importantly for me, I'm a huge mental health advocate. It's partly because of my own journeys through mental health and a celebrator of inclusion and diversity. But mostly I'm a gatherer of stories because I realized through my own journey of sharing my mental health that people find solace from other people's stories. And not just that, they gain knowledge and information, but it gives them, so they can find some solace, but it gives them like a starting place where they can start to move forward in their own healing journeys.
Oh, this is so true. People love to hear that they're not alone. And it really helps to know that you've got a support system out there, other people who've been through it, who get you, who can resonate and help support you through the journey. So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah.
Yeah, for sure. So I love being able to talk about that. It happened all kind of by accident. I just sort of started to share my mental health journey through a blog. It was essentially my journals. And from there, I started to get messages from people that were thanking me for sharing my story. And I realized how much that, like to your point, Michelle, how important it was for people to actually hear other people's stories and to know how much strength there is in that vulnerability when people are so scared to be that vulnerable themselves. So it really gives them permission to try to do that for themselves.
Yes, I love that. Gives them permission. If there's one piece of advice you could give someone who's struggling with their own mental health journey, what would that be, Sarah?
The very first thing for anybody is they need to honor where they're at right at that moment. You know, I think so often we're trying so hard to change and trying to figure out why it is that we feel so bad or why we can't, you know, we could have all the blessings of the world around us, but we just can't see them. And we're struggling with trying to change that. But until people can honor that moment where they are right at that time, there's no way to step forward. So for me, the biggest thing I can ever tell anybody is honor how you're feeling right now. It's valid, it's important, and you can't start to make changes unless you use that information that you have about yourself at that moment as a stepping stone to keep going.
Yes,
Yeah,
true.
you're totally right, Sarah. Like when I used to be depressed, and it went on for a few years as I let people bully me and push me around, and like I felt like I had no value, and I was always rethinking of stuff that had happened during the day, that happened last week, like mistakes I've made and why they were bullying me. I felt like they were right to do. And I was living in the past, and it's only when I realized that, like, we're never in the past and we're never in the future, we're always in the present. And if I can live with what I have in the present and just go day to day, appreciate the day, appreciate like the little bunny that came in the backyard this morning, and things start to be good for us, right?
That's a really good point, Guillaume, because, you know, I use that as a tool for myself too, to just bring me back to the things that are true blessings in my life. So starting my day every morning with gratitude is something that I found has truly helped me get through even some of the most difficult situations in my life. because we all have difficult situations. We all have ups and downs, but really if we stop for a moment and we come back to where we are now, what we're grateful for, all the tremendous blessings that we have, it makes it a lot easier rather than just focusing on the negative that's happening at that moment in our life.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my biggest struggles is that when people were talking to me about having a positive mindset, it was really hard for me to grasp, because I thought that that meant I always had to be happy. When really it wasn't that I always had to be happy. It was just the fact that I was willing to look and to move when it was ready, when it was time for me. And as long as that willingness existed to say that, like, there are things in my life that I know are that I'm extremely grateful for, then I could allow myself honor like how I was feeling at that moment, still continue to get through that moment, but then have that willingness to make that difference and that change as the time came that was appropriate for me. So I think one of the biggest things that's hard for people to recognize, that having a positive mindset doesn't mean that you can't have a bad day and that you're not grateful for your stuff. But if you can look to the things that are in your life that you can be grateful for example, like to your point, Michelle, then, you know, things just sort of align much better through like the universe for you. So.
Absolutely.
And Sarah, you were saying you were journaling about what was happening, and you were just writing about it, and then you decided to post it, and that transformed the lives of people. And that is so important, is that our journey, our story, even though it looks hard at some point, can be transformative for somebody else. So everything that we're dealing with is meant to happen, is meant to be part of our journey, and
exactly.
is meant to be making a difference.
No, that's exactly true. I think that's one of the reasons why I love gathering people's stories, because to hear their journeys to the point to where they are right now, where they made that decision to define, like, this is who I am and what I'm grateful for. But you hear how they got there, and you hear the struggles, and it's so amazing to see that person transform into something completely like that they couldn't have necessarily ever imagined for themselves, because they weren't ready to see that for themselves. But when you hear it from somebody else, it's like, oh, that person's just like me. Like, if they can do it, then maybe I can too. This is the only time I'll ever say that it's okay to make comparisons. It's like to say, if they can do it, I can do it too. Otherwise, it's never about comparisons. But it's, finding that commonality with people's stories, that I think that is like so important. So. And I loved your story, Guillaume. That was one of the biggest draws for me when I saw you and I met you on LinkedIn, was hearing about your journey, and then like actually hearing it from your voice. Like it was amazing to me.
Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah, all the guests we have coming on the show, we ask them, what's a miracle that you would like to see right now around you, for you, like whatever, let us know. And I'm sure there's going to be a way that this can happen.
I feel like I want to see people be able to figure out how much they can have an impact on others. I think that we always go through so much in life not realizing that the smallest of things can impact people in such a profound way. And if I feel like if I can help or let anybody around me, if I can see that happening to them, or if I can help them kind of do that, then like that to me is a true miracle, because then they realize how significant and how important and how purposeful their life could be. And I think that's like one of the miracles that I think I gravitate towards the most, is when people realize that about themselves.
Yes. And to your point, I love when I meet people and they've got a story. I love telling them, turn your mess, whatever that seemed to be in your life, into your message and put that out into the world. Because just imagine if we all went through life and had our challenging times, but kept it all to ourselves, right? So not only are we dealing it completely alone, but we're not sharing it with others and how we got through it with others. So if everyone was brave enough to come out and just share their stories, that would not only help them release this big, heavy burden that they've been carrying around by themselves, but also allow them to put a message out there and impact others. It is profound. Absolutely, Sarah.
Yeah. And I think it's the messy that's okay. Like, I think people kind of see us on the other side of it and think that we're not still going through it. But I'm very honest about my journey. Like, I have to deal with it every single day. So it's okay to be able to still be going through it and still to be able to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 We're all
Being
human. Right?
vulnerable goes such a long. Oh, sorry, Michelle. The screen cut, and I didn't know you were talking.
Yeah.
Go
No
ahead.
worries. I'm saying we're all human, right? We all have difficulties. We have good days, bad days. So as long as we're authentic and honest and just put it all out there, I think that's what has a big impact on people and draws people to us, because then they can, see that everyone has challenges, that no one really is perfect out there. We're all in this together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And for your miracle, Sarah, I think there might be people that are going to watch that or watching right now that know that this message spoke to them, and they feel that what you're saying about them sharing their voice, their stories is so important, and they're going to reach out. And I feel like another way we can help you, the miracle makers can help you, is that with the other show that we're producing, the Karma Train, when we go to the East Coast, you're going to be a special guest for sure.
I would love that. I would love to be able to do that. Like, to really be able to reach people in that capacity, I think is amazing and beautiful. And I would love to be a part of it.
Yes. So beautiful. We're going to have you definitely be a part of that. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on today and sharing your story and what you're passionate about. We love having guests like you on the show. It's very impactful for other people to see that, there's so much love and compassion and humanity in this world. And we're really all here to make this world a better place for every single one of
us. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bless you all. So, guys.
Yes, to everyone watching, just please let us know what miracle would you like to see happen in this world, and we'd love to make that a reality for you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Sarah.